like starting an engine. I like that kind of orange. Let's see, how do I... Yeah, maybe that. There you go. Alright, well, how's it going? I thought we could go back and also put in the... there's surveillance early, beforehand. I mean, I don't know how far back I want to go, but yeah. There was surveillance when they were walking down the street, Maddie, Kaylee, and some guy named Jack. And they were walking, then they go to the grub truck, and then you have the footage of the Uber driver pulling up, and then the Uber driver actually showing up on King Road. That's kind of, that's them being dropped off. And it matches the timing of what everybody says, too. So it must be a conspiracy. Must have to be. But, maybe I could go get some of that. This is kind of what I have on the screen right now. I don't have the really quickly the video of like, Maddie, what did you say to whatever the hell that was, that surveillance, because that's not one of the ones that they were going to use at trial for some reason. Or Maddie, what did you say to Adam? That one. Okay. I have it in a folder somewhere. I just don't know exactly where it is. Must be too early to do a show right now, I guess. I'm going to try to find that one shot of it coming back. The DoorDash driver, the Uber driver showing up. I think I have it. Yeah, but it was like, God, it's weird. I mean, there's so many different clips. It's crazy. I just thought of doing that just now. Yeah, it seems like I saw it the other day. It's just, there's all these other files out there. It's crazy. Yeah, that's 335. Yeah, it's they're never just really simple. There's so many files that they put out there. Hey, thanks, Paul Marino. Yeah, well, I know it's in there somewhere. Hey, thanks, Penelope. Got my adult beverage sitting in the Alaskan sun with some F-22s flying over whilst looking forward to some GHI analysis. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Here, I'm just going to look for it for a second. I'm going to type in, go into the Kohberger folder, type in 1122, and then like star the dot MP4. Is that gonna? I'll just. No, it would be 1112 camera. That's the camera. 112 star.mp4. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Okay, there's 11 to 12. Yeah, see, that's crazy right there. These are all like earlier. Okay, so it should be on, no, yeah, that's right, on the 13th, but then really early in the morning. I think this might be it right here. Hold on. And then I wanted to take a look at something with you guys. God, where the heck is the okay, source? So I'll bring it over here. I'm pretty sure this is it. It's like really long. Let's see. Yeah, see there it is, 12:55 on the 13th. There you go. And then let's see, what time did they come home? Should be like 1:55 or something. Yeah, so then you got 1:56:03. Kaylee and Madison are dropped off. So this should be in here. And look at that. Look at what's kind of interesting too. It's like because somebody came out of their home, it made it really, see the coloring there? And then it immediately switches back, but it got color just for a moment in time because of the porch light. See, the porch light turned on, and then the coloring of the porch completely lit up, it has color to it. And so let's go to 1:56. Oh, 03, I think it was. Yeah, so that vehicle right there is the Uber driver that, I mean, in that vehicle right there is Kaylee and Madison still alive. And so let me just grab that one. And then the Uber driver drives away right there. Kind of stop for another vehicle for a second. And then there, let me do the last light of the Uber driver right there. Okay. Okay, so we got the Uber driver. I don't know if there's audio with this. Yeah, I think it's just video. Let me see. Yeah, there's no audio. Alright, so now we have the Uber driver in, and that's really kind of the last piece. It would have been really interesting if you could have seen, I mean, not really incredibly interesting, but if you could have seen Xana and Ethan walking home. But I think what they did was they walked through, let me get back over there, that little alley, believe it or not, the same alley that I think Kohberger parked by all those different times. So, like when they walked from Sigma Chi over here, they probably just walked across the street, and then there's this little alley that goes right there. I mean, I think if you go down the street view, you can almost see it. Well, I mean, this gives you a good idea. That's the house right there, I believe. I mean, it's hard to, I'm pretty sure that's it, though. It's just really old. But there's this little gap in there. that you just walk right over there and walk up this little path, and it takes you right to the house. And so I think that's how they went there, and because they did that, the camera that is right here... let me make the screen bigger again. That's probably easier to see. Hey, thanks, Ali K, KMTX, or KME. Yeah. So there's a camera in the front of this house right here. That's the camera that films the cars driving in, etc. However, if you walked up that little side path right there and just went to the house, then you are not going to be on that camera. And I think that's exactly what I'm certain that that's what Xana and Ethan, how they got home. They just walked across the field, went up that little path, and boom, it goes right home. It's actually probably a little shorter, actually, than walking like this and then like that. All right, so at least we have that piece of footage in there. Let me save it. All right, now there was something I wanted to take a look at. I was just noticing today. So what I did was I did the thing where I did before, where I took the daylight and put it over it. I think it looks way easier to see everything that's going on. I went and found, and I had to go to find each clip again and do it. There might be ones that I missed. But see how easy that is to see now? Because I put the daylight and then made it almost transparent, but it's still bright enough where you can see all of the houses and everything. So it's even interesting when you see the DoorDash driver walking over there. Let me see if I can find that one. Right there. See that? Look how much better that looks. So here comes the DoorDash driver when they walk over. See, now you can kind of see exactly what they were doing. Just kind of walked over there by that car. See that? Isn't that 1,000 times better than when it's dark? You don't even know what the hell's happening. I mean, you can see it. You can kind of guess, but... And then there she is. It almost looks like it's easier to see her. It's weird, right? No, her name's just Molly. Yeah, it's not Molly McMath. Let's focus in on the Kohberger being the bad guy. And then here's what it looks like when a vehicle drives by. See, it's better, easier to see, you know. That's not his car, though. That's the that's just that random vehicle that was there. All right, but what I wanted to look at was if we could determine anything about, I think I tried this once a long time ago, the lighting on the windows when the Elantra is driving around, so that we can maybe try to better determine where the Elantra was parked on the final run, where it parked, goes in and kills, and gets in the car and then drives away. Okay, so that you see the car back behind right there, and then let's see, yeah, you see it way up here on the upper left right there. That means the vehicle's coming around. The light in the upper left there, and then it doesn't do anything on these windows. And so it's interesting because, like, if you go across, you know, like it's high, kind of hitting that, and it's sort of in between, but it seems like there's some effect on this upper window. Here, watch. See how it stays completely still? There's nothing at all moving in there. In fact, that's how these programs work. If there's no movement, it just kind of keeps the pixels the same. So we'll just kind of watch that one right there. That little movement you see isn't movement. You'll see when there's movement, it's like it's bigger. Those are just pixel shifts. That's just what it does. Look at all over the place. Looks like ants. That's just what it does. And maybe scrub it a little bit. Hold on. See, it's right there. This part right there. You see that? See, that part's interesting to me. So you see how it's the same, and then right there. Ooh, and then there's like it goes way up right there. All right. Now, if you back out, there's no headlights or anything here. And that little light there is associated with the vehicle. Then it goes down, and then the car turns, and now you see the headlights coming on, and then it goes around. So that's interesting, because that means that reflection in the window actually picks it up when it's a little bit on that street back there. So let me see if I can open up the our Insta360 again. I just hate the way this new thing just works. I never can remember. Okay, there you go. Yes. I just want to see, can you even get a reflection on that window? See, that window's right there. See that? And it's driving. And it seems like just the lights being on in the car, like right when we can see it, is where it would be. That's like right there then. That's crazy. Hold on. Maybe right here. See that? Because there's that top window's right there. So that means the vehicle would be right here when we see that light. Because the camera's there. Although there would be an angle, it wouldn't be right there. It'd be more about right here, because the camera's there, then there's an angle, and then an equal angle going the other direction. So maybe something like this. I don't know. I wish there was just these other little reflections somewhere where you could just go, oh man. So anyways, this is the first pass, and let's go look at the second one at 38 and just see if it's similar. Because we know this for sure, the vehicle's going around exactly how it does at the end. I wonder what that light is there at 336. Okay, then there's the vehicle. Comes around. And then it leaves right then, but then just before that. Yeah, see, it did the same thing up there. Watch. Right there, see that? So at 3:40 and 14 seconds, you see that. And now it could just be that it's already on the road there, and it's because the headlights are aiming, it's so steep there that the headlights don't hit down here. But it's every single time that's there before you see the car and the headlights. You notice that? So that's pretty interesting. And then there's another one at, I guess there's a big skip in here all the way to 350. So there it goes again. And then if we back it up. So let's see if we can see when that moves again there. Yep. Right there, see? And 358.13. And then now we start seeing headlights down here as the vehicle's moving. Huh. Yeah, it's almost the same every single time, so we're actually, that's the first indication of the vehicle of any kind, is that little in the upper window, that little reflection there. You would hope that you'd see something just a little bit prior to that, somewhere. Like, what's that light right there? How about that light? No, that was the one, that's the one up above, right? Yeah. And then there's nothing else until right there. Yeah. God, man, don't you wish there was like some other window that was perfectly aligned? But anyways, that one, you guys even know what I'm talking about here? That upper right window right there does show the vehicle moving into the street area where, before you even see the headlights or anything. And like 5 seconds before that. And then this is probably when it's already, let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit later. All right, anyways, I just wanted to check that out. I guess so we can look at the last one. I guess kind of the main goal was to see on the very, at 4:20 and 47 seconds. All right, let's look up there. Weird. So it's right there. See that? Just that little change there. That's the same. So at 4:20 and 43 seconds. And there it goes. But it's going much quicker than the other times where it just kind of slowly goes around. Alright, guys, we have 0 gifted memberships in here tonight, and we're having another one of those slow starts, so if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that would be awesome. Maybe tomorrow night we'll donate $500 somewhere. Alright, see how it goes. Alright, let's go do the timeline, though. I'm just going to go through the whole damn thing, I think. And we can look at various things, I guess. I mean, I don't want to do the ones way back. Well, I guess we could. Alright, so on January 10th, 2022, Kohberger purchased a balaclava at the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Dick's Sporting Goods. Then on March 20th, on Amazon, he purchased a K-bar knife and a sharpener. And then on March 31st, just 11 days after purchasing that, he applies for an internship at Pullman, Washington. And then on April 6th, the individual at Pullman Gary Jenkins replies to Kohberger's application on April 6th. Then on April 12th, he must have got it. He had an interview with, so on April 12th, he had an interview with Gary Jenkins. And then on 6/23, he moves to Pullman, Washington on June 23rd, 2022. Then on July 8th, he's in Pullman. He got a haircut. Then on July 9th, 2022, he's at the Grove pool party on July 9th. Kohberger attended a pool party. Then on July 9th, he was within 100 meters of 1122 King Road. And, Kohberger's phone was in the area 12 times after the party. That number got bigger, though. I think it was like 23. And then on July 10th, a woman he met at the Grove pool sent, he sent that woman a text message, says, "Hey, I'm pretty sure we spoke about hiking trips yesterday. I really enjoy that activity. So please let me know. Thanks." Then on August 1st, 2022, he's also within 100 meters of Kohberger, 1122 King Road again. And then on August 16th, while at his residence at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, number G201, Kohberger searches for Bundy and finds article by Emily Pedno, searched Ted, you type in H7NDY, but he meant to type in Bundy. If you look where the U is on your keyboard, it's just below the 7, so you accidentally hit that. Yeah. And then on 8/16, Maddie posted an image of all 5 residents. We've seen that one. And then on 8/16/2022, Kaylee talks to officer regarding noise complaint. 8/21, Kohberger's issued a citation at Farm Road and Perimeter Drive. I think that's one of those videos that we've seen out there. And then 8/26/2022, at his residence, he typed in on his search, "When can a cop detain you?" And search for forced, passed out, drugged, sleeping on a Google search. Then on September 7th in Pullman, he got another haircut. Then on 9/10/2022, so September 10th, 2022, Naeun Ko, who was, she was actually pretty, this Asian woman there, like she was prettier than any of the girls that it was really strange, I don't know what the hell, she liked him, apparently. Anyways, she had a watch and a letter missing, maybe in a security setup, let's see, so she had that stolen, and then Kohberger helped her set up a security system in her residence. And then on September 30th, Kohberger also looked for sociopathic traits in college students. Then October 1st, Kohberger's phone started to appear again in Moscow near 1122 King Road. October 14th, he completed its third visit near 1122 King Road within 100 meters. But at this point, he's already just kind of stalking Madison Mogen, in my opinion. Just sort of, every night sitting back there watching. And then on October 14th, that same day, he was pulled over in Pullman by a female officer during the day regarding claiming an intersection. I actually believe in claiming intersections, but that was earlier in the day, and so in the evening, he completed his third visit near the residence. Then October 19th, he Googled, "Can psychopaths behave pro-socially?" And then on November 7th, he gets another haircut. So he got a haircut, let's see, July 8th, August 15th, and then one really quickly, like within 3 weeks. And then he waited almost 2 months till the last one, you know, making sure his hair is nice and short, make it less likely to leave a hair. But hey guys, I need your guys' support on the channel in here. I'd really appreciate it. We're currently at 1/15th of a nightly goal. Not even close. Alright, then on November 7th, Kohberger's phone was within 100 meters of 1122 King Road. The same day he got the haircut. And then on November 10th, he stopped using his debit card. And then November 12th, Kohberger was watching YouTube, you know, in the earlier evening. And then, let's see. So now we get to the other timeline stuff. On November 12th at 9 p.m. Till 1:30, Xana, Ethan, and Bethany are over at Sigma Chi. And then at 9 p.m., Kaylee posted, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day." That's that picture that she took with all of them. A different one, but then that other one. But she took one of 5 and then another one with all of them again. One that's sort of like the iconic picture of them. And then on November 12th, 10:30 to 3:07, or I think that's supposed to be, that's not supposed to be 3:07. Not sure why that's between, that should be like 1:40 or something. Well, it's down here at the time. Not really sure what that is. Oh, I know, that's math right there. That's like saying it's 3 hours and 7 minutes of time. Okay, that makes sense. And then at 1:37, they're at the corner club. 1:39, they walk by 1122 North Main Street. 1:42, 218 South Main Street. And then they show up at the corner club at I think it's 1:43-ish is when they get there, and then we have that on the surveillance footage. If you go back here, so this is a couple shots of them walking. You can see them in the background right there. I mean, Madison's so funny. Like, she's just flopping around like a you see that? Anyways, she does that, and then the same thing in this video here. Yeah. And then we see them walk right here across the street. See that? She's still flopping around the jacket. And then they show up to the grub truck. Now that video, see, I showed them right when I kind of try to time it up. So it's 3:43. So there they are, getting their food, you know, and that's her friend Jack over there. Not Jack Decor, but a different one, Showalter. He was just he's a friend of theirs. And then, you know, here's Madison. Like, Madison Mogen was very, very intoxicated. You could tell. I think that's even what the numbers said. Thanks, Wild Bill. Anybody else going to help out? Jump on that wave there? Okay, so they've already moved down. They're over here at the other place. That time isn't right. That's the time that they said the video was, but it wasn't. So here they are right there. I should be able to, let me check something. All right, yeah, there we go. So it should be almost perfectly timed up. So here, they're just, we've seen this video 1,000 times. So they're there, and eventually they get their food. And the Jack guy was waiting, he's going to maybe walk them home, but they got a ride, so he's like, okay, see you. Originally, it was hard to tell what was going on with that. Right, so see how right there they're taking off. So it should be, if this is timed up right, where we see him right now come by. Yeah, look at that. Man, that was perfect. So there they are going right to their car. And then that vehicle drives away. Why is my phone beeping? And there goes Jack, their friend. He goes around the corner over there. What the hell's happening? Jeez. All right, so you got that. And then that vehicle that they're in. Hold on. Gotta make it the right size again. There. Take this. Yeah. So it looks like the cars are pretty much all parked exactly the same again. Let's see. What happens if I turn that one off? Yeah, see, nothing. Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So this car wasn't back yet. See this car right there? I mean, it's not interesting. It's just when you're looking at the photo, it's kind of... I think. Like, what am I... Let's see. What's happening? If I turn that off... Okay, yeah, so it's there at 156. But apparently... Oh, yeah, it's not there. That vehicle that was right there is not there all the way through the night. That's the one that pulled away with the friends. That's right. Okay. So it is there. Like you can see it in the background there, because it is there when Kaylee and Madison are dropped off, but then it disappears before Kohberger even starts showing up. Thanks, Wild Bill. So here comes at 1:56, and I've got my timeline here. So yeah, 1:56, the DoorDash driver came in. 1:57, I mean, it dropped him off. And then at 1:57, that's probably when they got out of the car or something. I don't know. I think this was supposed to be when it drove away. Yeah, that's right. It says private driver left. Okay. So let's see. 1:56 drops him off. And then 1:57 right there. You see it moving by. Just about 1:57 kind of slows down right there and then drives away. So that was the DoorDash driver. And at this point, Madison and Kaylee are home right just before 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, then at 2 o'clock in the morning, Bethany, Dylan, and Madison and Kaylee, they all go up to Kaylee's room. So right when they got home, they just go up, they're up in Kaylee's room. And then at 2:10, Dylan Mortensen sends a text to an Uber driver she knew to see if he was driving. And the reason she did that, because they were like, man, that food looks really good that you got at Grub Truck. So they wanted to go to Grub Truck, probably Bethany and Dylan. And then the Uber driver confirmed he was driving at 2:13. So 2:10, they're up. They are. She texted the Uber driver. 2:13, the Uber driver confirmed it that he is driving, but he never got back to the Uber driver. Then at 2:15, I guess I don't know why that's in there. It says Xana places DoorDash order. Did she order one that early? So it just took that long to get there, huh? Hey, thanks, Haley. At 2:15, Xana places DoorDash order. I don't know if I think that's right, though. I mean, I must have put it in there for some reason. And then at 2:18, Kaylee is getting ready for bed. 2:20, Madison and Bethany take Murphy outside, and then Dylan goes to her bed. So Madison and Bethany go down the stairs, and they let Murphy outside. And that's right around, these are like my estimates here, like 2:20. And then 2:22, Bethany is cold, so goes inside. She said she was only outside for a minute or so, right? So Bethany's cold, so goes inside, puts something away, and then gets a bag of chips. And then at 2:26, Kaylee begins, this is me, like the timing of it. See, I think that she's like in bed at this time. Kaylee was getting ready for bed, right? So it's set up above. Let me see something. Is this the more? I gotta check something out. I think that's the only timeline I've got. All right. So let's see. It was 2:26. Kaylee begins calling boyfriend, and that's when I think. Because remember, she said she was getting ready for bed. Kaylee was. Right there. There's what I was looking for. So she told them, I'm tired. I'm gonna get ready for bed. And then that's when Madison and Bethany take Murphy outside, probably right around 2:20, I would guess. And then 2:22, Bethany's cold, so goes back inside, puts something away, and gets a bag of chips. Then at 2:26, Kaylee starts calling her, I guess, ex-boyfriend Jack DeCoeur, Jack DeCoeur, while laying in her bed. And that's what I think, because her bed was like she had been slept in it that night. So I think she got in her bed when those people left. And this is speculation, but I think it's like exactly how it went down, what I'm saying here. So she's texting her boyfriend, or trying to anyways, or try calling him. And then 2:30, Bethany is in bed watching Baby Daddy. Then 2:34, Madison asks Bethany, maybe through the door, "Hey, have you seen Murphy?" And then 2:36, Madison goes to her room and gets ready for bed. Maybe she found Murphy. We don't really know, but Murphy is around. And then 2:40, Madison gets into her own bed. All right. And then at 2:42, Kohberger's cast data shows Kohberger at home at 1630 Northeast Valley Road. So right when Madison is likely getting in the bed, Kohberger is still at home. And at 2:43, Kaylee goes to Madison's room. Because here's the thing is, Jack wasn't responding to Kaylee's calls because her friend said that, let's see, not her friend. I'm reading, we always get these conspiratorial nut jobs that show up in here. Jack's friend said, don't answer the phone, play hard to get. That kind of thing. So he didn't answer it. It probably saved his life, even though, because I'm sure he had some drinks too. And so he wasn't answering the calls when Kaylee kept trying to call him. And she was just trying to call him because she probably missed him and wanted him to come over. There was nothing going on at this time. So then what happened is then Kaylee gets out of her room and thinks, maybe he'll answer if Madison calls. So Kaylee calls Jack for the 6th time at 2:44, probably while sitting right next to her. And then at 2:44 also, Madison begins calling Jack. All right. Then at 2:47, the CAS data shows Kohberger's phone is in southeast Pullman, so he's on the move at this point. Then at 2:52 a.m., Madison calls Jack for the 3rd time. And then at 2:52, Kaylee calls Jack for the final time. And then Madison calls Bethany at 2:53, which is sort of interesting because that might still be, hey, have you seen Murphy or hey, we found Murphy, don't worry about it. I can't imagine her thinking that time of night. But at 2:53, Madison calls Bethany, who she had just asked prior to that, have you seen the dog? Or I wonder, though, if that could be, maybe Bethany's remembering it wrong. And Madison never, because she was drinking. And Madison never went to the room and said something through the door. And it was the phone call that she sort of vaguely remembers. Because remember, she said, like, she didn't open the door and she talked to Madison said something through the door. Have you seen Murphy? But what if that's what it was? It's the phone call, and she's just sort of conflating that, oh, she went downstairs. What do you guys think of that? That's sort of interesting, isn't it? A 17-minute call from who to who? Mm-hmm. Police asked Jack about a connected call during his interview. 17 minutes. Don't know what that means. Yeah, he didn't talk to one of them, though. So what difference does it make? I mean, if he's not connected to Kaylee or whatever, what difference does it make where the phone went? It just doesn't. It's weird how people really care about these little things, like, ooh, we're finding something. Listen, Kohberger is absolutely 100% the killer. There isn't anybody else in that house or anything like that has anything to do with anything. And if you believe that, there's something wrong with your brain. If you believe that Kohberger didn't do it somehow, you are literally like just right above an amoeba in terms of brain power. It's incredible that these people exist out there looking for every little thing to try to free a killer. You guys are crazy lunatics, all right? And that's the truth, everybody. That's the truth. So that is kind of interesting, right? So we get the call. Madison calls Bethany. And then I have down here, and then at 2:54, the CAS data shows Kohberger's phone is turned off. And then at 2:55, I said, back then, possibly Madison asked Bethany through the door if she has seen Murphy. Wow, that's crazy, right? Because now it does seem more like that would, maybe she did try to call Bethany, but I bet you if that connected and they talked, that's when that was. She said, hey, have you seen Murphy? And she just sort of has this memory that it was through the door. So that's weird. Man, I think I was almost onto that right back then when I put that together. All right, so we've already gone through all this Elantra stuff. And then, okay, so there is like at 351, so if you're going through in here, so right now, so right when this DoorDash driver is walking, you can see him right there, see that? Right around that same time, Bethany, let's see. Not Bethany. Dylan Mortensen creates a new contact in her phone, right as that lady's walking right there. And then at 3:51:26, headlights are seen southbound on Walenta Drive, but they're not Kohberger's vehicle. See, two cars went southbound in a row, and one of them's not his. And then at 3:51:30, DoorDash driver is seen walking west on Queen Road. We're looking at her. And then 3:52:42, well, again, that's the slow driving. I'm just going to read the part. Oh, yeah, and then at 3:54, Xana, so it's crazy, right? So here's the DoorDash driver walking, right? See that? I mean, that's such a way better view of that. Look at that. Because I put the light over the dark. I mean, that makes it so you can just absolutely see where she was. But then at let's go to 3:54. So she walks away. And then right around this time, Xana, so right here, so just after the DoorDash driver was walking there, Xana texted the DoorDash driver and said, "Are you having trouble finding it?" Isn't that just, I mean, just something like that's sort of interesting, right? Like, so Xana is communicating with that DoorDash driver. You could tell that she's lost out there. And then at 4 o'clock, according to Dylan, everybody's in their room. And then at 4 o'clock and 34 seconds, the DoorDash vehicle pulls out to leave. And then, you know, then we've already seen all the camera footage. I'm just doing the portions. Then it says at 4:12, Xana used TikTok, perhaps sending the message, you know, there's one, she sent a message that night saying Queen on a video. And then at 4:17, you know, you can hear voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. A dog can be heard barking. I think the thud is Xana being shoved into the nightstand in the corner after being stabbed. And I have him leaving the residence at 4:18 and 30 seconds. That's my guess. I think he actually entered the residence at like 4:15. He did all that in 3 minutes and some odd seconds. I think it's hilarious. Like one of the biggest arguments that the nutjob pro-burgers say is, there's no way somebody could have done that in 7 minutes or 8. You know, they do this long diatribe. And it's like, are you a fool? Or why don't you look it up? Okay? Not only that, these people were, all the victims were drunk. And he was jacked up with a K-bar knife. Yes, you can do it. I've made a video, 7 minutes. You know, could this be done in 7 minutes? And you're left just sitting there going, oh, wow, this is too long. I mean, dramatically too long, 7 minutes. And then law enforcement came out and said that they did timing, that they could do it in 2 minutes or, you know, at the maximum 4 minutes or, you know, 3 minutes or something. I mean, it was crazy, right? And so I'm saying that like 3.5 minutes. I think he went into the house maybe around 3:15 after he parked. But hey, guys, we only have 3 different people supporting the channel tonight. Is there any chance any of the rest of you, I mean, I think I do a good job over here. My channel also has donated $304,000 since January of 2020. And that's the only way to make it happen is if you guys are supporting the channel. I'm not sure why tonight's different than some other night. Who knows? I'm sorry that I don't sell the conspiracies. You know, that's how you build a channel. You sell conspiracy theories. Yeah, we need somebody to do a challenge. All right. So let's see. We're over here. See, this part is, I think, is interesting. If you go down to like 4, we go to 420, 419 actually. So let's just, I'll say this as it's happening. Hey, thanks, Tracy Antioch. So here we go. So right now, Bethany Funk calls Dylan at 4:19:07. Okay? So Bethany Funk calls Dylan. They're probably talking right now. Or maybe not. I don't know. Might have just been an attempted call. And then coming up here in 10 seconds, we have Dylan calls Xana. So Dylan called Xana right then. And she's not getting an answer from any of them. And then at 4:20 and 28 seconds, Dylan Mortensen calls Bethany Funk, and they talk for 41 seconds. So we could actually go, so right now, boom, 41 seconds. So they're talking. They're still on the phone. They're talking. They're on the phone. You know, whatever they're talking about. And then Kohberger gets in his car, and then boom, he's out of here. And they're still talking right now. So here, Kohberger's leaving right now. But they don't have any idea if that's his car or anything. So he just took off. And there he goes up there. And then at 4:21, that's right up here, Bethany Funk calls Xana. Dylan called Xana, remember, at 4:20, then 4:21, Bethany Funk called Xana. And then 4:21 and 50 seconds, Dylan Mortensen calls Madison Mogan. See, they're checking on the roommates. Then 4:22, Bethany Funk calls Ethan Chapin. Then at 4:22:08, Dylan Mortensen sent a message to Bethany Funk saying, "No one is answering." Yeah, because that's what people would do if they're involved in a crime, is start texting their other friend that's part of the crime saying, "Hey, nobody's answering." Then 42:11, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk says, "I'm really confused right now." Then 4:22:42, Dylan Mortensen texted Kaylee and typed in Kaylee. And then 4:22:43, Dylan Mortensen to Kaylee, "What's going on?" So she's actually trying to get a hold of Kaylee and figure out what the hell's happening. Then 4:23, Bethany Funk said, sent an outgoing message on Snapchat. Then at 4:23:15, Bethany Funk to Dylan said, "Yeah, dude, what the F?" And then at 4:23:28, Bethany Funk to Dylan Mortensen said, "Xana was wearing all black." Then 4:23:33, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, "I'm freaking out right now." Then at 4:23:42, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, No, it's like a ski mask almost. And then at 4:23, just 6 seconds later, Bethany Funk to Dylan Mortensen said, "Shut the F up." Then 4:23:51, Bethany Funk said, or 4:23:51, Bethany Funk to Dylan, so basically it was, "Shut the F up, actually." And then 4:23:52, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, like he had something over his forehead and a little around the mouth. And then 4:24, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, "Bethany, I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out." And then 4:24:07, Bethany Funk to Dylan Mortensen, "So am I." And then 4:24:11, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, "Phone is going to die, F." And then at 4:24:14, Bethany Funk to Dylan, "Come on, or come to my room." And then 4:24:22, Bethany also then said, "Run down here." And then at 4:24:39, Dylan Mortensen calls Ethan Chapin. So that might be when she's already down there, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. And then at 4:24:58, Dylan Mortensen to Bethany Funk, "I'm so scared, though." Okay, so she hasn't run down there yet. "I'm so scared to run down there, though," basically. And then 4:25:16, Bethany Funk to Dylan, "Yeah, I know, but it's better than being alone." And then 4:26, I put down as the approximate time that Dylan went downstairs. Dylan says after 4:27 phone call, but doesn't make sense, I guess. No, I don't know. Might be a short night tonight. Dead as a doornail. 4:27:11, Dylan Mortensen makes an outgoing phone call. 4:27:30, Dylan Mortensen, outgoing message to Snapchat, two in a row. I don't know who she called on the 4:27:11. 4:27:47, Dylan Mortensen calls Kaylee. 4:28:44, Dylan Mortensen calls Anna. And then 11:13:2022, Dylan runs to Bethany's room. I guess that's the time. Dylan runs to Bethany's room and sees Anna laying on the floor in her room, feet forward. And that's my theory. So I think she actually went to the room up there at 4. Let's see. Approximate time Dylan went downstairs. I'm not sure why this is even here. I'm just going to remove that. And then Bethany Funk. Bethany Funk calls Madison at 4:29. And then tried her again. And then Bethany Funk tried calling Kaylee. Then Kaylee tried calling her again. And then Dylan Mortensen texts Kaylee, says, "Please answer." Because they're too scared to get out of their rooms. 4:34, Bethany Funk access Snapchat. 4:37, Bethany Funk accessed Instagram. And at 4:48, Highway 95, Kohberger's cast data shows him, turns back on his phone near Highway 95 at 4:48. So, after he drove out of there, I think he went like this. See, in the probable cause document, they had it going like this. But then they realized that there were some cameras that would have filmed his car, and they didn't. And I think he did this route right here. Went way out here, and then boom, straight through Blaine. And then back then, this highway wasn't there, so he just drove right here. And then right when he got there, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that time of night, if he didn't just... I think when I drove there, there was like a little place. You might have just pulled over really quick and then put something in his mapping program and then turned left and then went on Highway 95 after that, all the way down and around and kind of crossed into over there. And then 450, cast data follows Kohberger's movements. 520, cast data follows Kohberger's movements according to Dateline to near Johnson, Washington. And so that's over here. There's Johnson. So at 420, he's kind of over here. And then eventually he comes up and turns and goes that way. Now that's the tree right there. I mean, there it is. Yeah. So let's go. And by the way, see this image, satellite image, this weird. Up here it says 423, but down here it's July 16th, 2022. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I found this is the exact tree that somebody said they saw a white vehicle under. And then look at this, on July 16th, which if you look at the timeline is, you know, he met people at the Grove on 7/10, and then 6 days later, there's this white vehicle under the same tree that was mentioned in the documents. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? Thanks for the efforts there. You got Wild Bill and Alley Cake and Kami, etc. It's just, you know. All right, so the 525, he's at Johnson Avenue. He drives by a Cameron near Pullman. I mean, I have all that footage too. I'll probably put it together. It's really interesting watching that. I mean, I guess we could do it. And this is actually the vehicle in the morning at 9:13, basically. Look at that. When it came back at 9 in the morning, there it is. Right there. Right in front of that same gas station at the A&W. Yeah, I think I just saw all that footage the other day. Let's see. It's not that one. Yeah, it's weird when you think you're doing something in a, like, oh wow, I'm going to put it over here, I'll remember, and then you can't find it. I'm in the right folder. Let me see if it's in this one. Surveillance footage. No, it's not going to be that. It's not that one either. Okay, here's one of them. I know that's one. I can tell. Okay, there you go. There's one. And then I think this is another one. Yep. And then no, it's not that one. Wow. Well, the one where it just kind of goes by that one parking spot. Like, that's the one I can't find. Unfortunately. Let me just look at each one more time. Yeah, why don't you guys, yeah, thanks, Haley. If I type in Johnson, that should be where it is. Okay, well, what do they call that one? They have that one on Sunset. Or, yeah, Sunset Boulevard. I just have one more to find. Yeah, so there's another camera that's right, it's right here on one of these. It's actually on this building right there. And that's Johnson Road. Let me see if I can get it really quick. Right. Ah, man, that sucks. I had it just the other day. I thought I put it into the folder, but apparently it's not in there. Let me just look at it one more time. I'm gonna make these large, extra large, and see if I can see it. No, no, no. 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 Oh, there it is. God. Yeah, it's weird how just you can see it when you zoom in correctly. It's a really, really long video for no reason. Let me look at the timeline here. So it should be right around drive near Pullman, 5:25, 29. 5:25, 29. I can't remember if this one off. This camera off by a certain amount. I don't remember now. Wait, that looked like maybe that was it. I don't think that's it. Yeah, because this camera runs out at 4:55. So that must mean it's not on the right time. It's definitely in there somewhere, though. I've seen it. Here, let me just try it again. Well, hold on. Maybe they give me another one. Just a second. Yeah, that looks different. Oh, there it is. Yes, there was another one. So what did I say? 5:20. It's coming up here. There it is. Right there. You go back to the clock or the timeline. It said 5:25 and 29 seconds. Yeah, there it is right there. This says 5:27, but I think there was an offset on one of these. All right, so we'll put these in order. It's pretty wild. I'll show you this. And what time is it on any of these? Does that one have a clock? Yeah, none of these have clocks on them. Yeah, there's no time on them. All right, but you can see the whole movement here. So let me put them in order. So here we go. It's like this. So here's the car zipping by right here. And where that location is again, I was just showing you a minute ago. It's right there. So if you go down there, I even drove in there with when I was there and filmed. There's two cameras. There's one right there, and then there's another one on this side right there. All right, and so what you're looking at in the air, it's crazy because you can see the whole thing. If you go up in the air, you can see the whole movement. So it drives by right there, and then you can see when it gets over here, see how it does this little jog, it's going to go around like this and then turn, right? So from this perspective, it would look like this, and then it would kind of go like that. And that's exactly what you see in the next clip, which is right there. See, if you look in the background over here, see it's going there, and then watch it, it goes that direction, and then just like that. So that's like right after this. So when the car zips by, you probably go to there, and then cut over to the next video. So it's like this. Let me get so you can see the car. It's going pretty quick. So there he goes. Just like that. And then at the end of that little street there he is, way in the background, finishing that. And then goes like that. And then around, and then straight down. And you'll see the vehicle really clearly right over here. Right there. I mean, Kohberger's sitting right there. How do you know? Great. Well, because he's the killer. That's his car. So there he goes. And then, after that, it's picked up on this camera. I think it's on the same building, just another camera on the other side. Now, see, there's that other car. See that one? That's the other car in the other video. So it's probably about like that, and then you see it drive by right over here on the right. There goes that car. And then, now this is really interesting too. I mean, if you like details. So see how it goes around the corner there, and then see the light over there? It's red for him. Right now it's red, but it's about to turn green. So now it's green, and then look, you'll even be able to see the headlights right there, and then it turns to the left. You see that? Can I get a boom shakalaka? You see how, like, if you're really observant, you can see that shit. And look at it. If you move it quick, you can really see it. So if you go back over here like this, he goes around to the light, and then to the left, right there. Left. He goes around to the left. And that actually makes complete sense. Because when he gets, you know, what we just saw him do was, it was right there. He made that turn, drove by this gas station here that has both those cameras on it. It might be this one here. I can't remember exactly. Is it, which one was it? Sunside? Let me see what the name of it was. Yeah, it's not there. I guess I have to add in those specific two cameras right there. But I think it's... I think it might even be this one down here, actually. This one. And it was filming, might even be like on the side of this building. I don't know. I don't think it's this one. That doesn't make sense. That wouldn't do that. So it's got to be this one. I thought it was something like sun something or other. What am I saying? Look at. What am I? Oh, booming. You're saying booming. Okay. Right there. And then, after that, what we just saw on camera just a second ago was it drove, let's see. So here's that little jog it makes that you see. Then it comes around. And then here's the light that it was just at, right here. And he got in that left-hand lane. And then when the light turned green, he went through it and then went this direction, which then matches up perfectly with the surveillance cameras inside of Pullman here where his car drove by. Isn't that wild? Do you guys want me to put that in there too? I mean, I guess since we're already here, we might as well throw those in. I've got those. Yeah, I think these are them. Oh, I had to convert them all. Okay, yeah, Stadium in Nevada. That's first. Come on. Ah, Jesus. Well, what's the time on that? I don't get it. Are these ones that were off also, or is that just... Oh, wow, it's a really long... Jesus. Okay, so that's not. It's gonna be on the next one, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. That one was from. Yeah, so this is from 4 o'clock to 7 in the morning. Wow, 3 hours. So he drove by there at like 5:25. So let me move it into that realm. And there he was. I think that's him right there. Yep. See? It's right there. I'm just going backwards. I'm going to get this clip in there. Nevada. Oh, yeah. So it's turning. Oh, yeah. I think that's the highway right there. Let me just make sure. Does it get light? Oh, wow. So we might be able to do that same thing if we take this. How about we take that frame right there? Speed and duration. Oh, wait, not this. Create. Let's see. Insert frame segment. Alright, I'm going to take that one frame, make it bigger, and then I'm going to put it all along this whole thing. Because there's no other cars in that one. It'll be cool, it'll be cool. Here we go. And go all the way to there. Then change the transparency on that to like 7. There you go. And then this will be and that's it right there. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Hold on, let me make that bigger. Yeah, it's just this beginning part right there, and it goes through the intersection. Alright. Yeah, so that's all I need from that camera. Yeah, this thing's it was 3 hours long, that clip there. I think that's pretty helpful. So let me go down to the street view in that, just to look at something. I think that's literally. So this is Nevada Street. I think it's looking down like this. Like maybe on top of that camera actually right there. So let's see. Do we see any of these? No, do not. I mean, it looks right. You know, I mean, should be a crosswalk right there, and then a little thing comes up. Yep. See, there's a little curb, and then there's a couple little wooden signs right there. Yep. There we go. Boom, boom. So yeah, that's right there. So what's cool about this is look at this. I mean, the timing is so perfect. Let me just go up in the air, save time. Oops, that's not going to do it. So that was just right here, and here's the highway that just a moment ago he turned. So he goes like this. He goes here, stops at the light, turns left, then goes this way, and then almost, exactly when you're expected to, this camera here at this intersection, right there, picks him up, going like this and turning like that. Now watch, you'll see that. Let me go back to the beginning of it again, and I'll play it. See that down there? He was turning. Let me go back a little bit more to like right there. There we go. That's better. All right, so just look down here. He's coming from that direction. There he goes. He turns exactly where he's supposed to be. So that's why it's important to see him turning left with the headlights at the red light, so that people can't claim that, oh, he went the other way. Yeah. All right, so there he was. He's right there. And that's why it's useful to make it light in the video. I might even be able, if I just make it a little bit more. Maybe make it 6. There. All right, guys, if you could help support the channel, that'd be great. We're just not even at a quarter, believe it or not. So we have that one, and then there is the, so it's Stadium and Nevada. These are all Nevada, 4 to 7, but then that's actually there's different cameras. So that first one is the east camera. Then there's another one here. I gotta do the same thing on this one. So it's gotta be right around in this time frame. I don't know. So is there no shot in this one? Yeah, I don't think that camera picked up anything. Looks like the lights are changing, but the vehicle doesn't show up in it. So that one was worthless. And this one. Thanks, Wild Bill. That's him, I think. Now, it looks kind of early, actually. That's not him. Should be next minute. Is that it? Yeah, but that clock's not the same. No, that was right. So they have it at 5:20. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. 528.44-ish. I'm trying to find the car. I think I saw it a second ago. I think that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's just as it goes through this intersection. Right there. And then I think it's this one. Because what was the time on there? Let's see. That's not, yeah. I don't know, it's different. It's 527.54. And then that's 528.20. I don't know. It takes a while to get them all dialed in because there's so much footage in there. I don't know if this one. Let's see. Let me look. Is there another car? Let me just keep looking. No. So that's got to be it. It just means that that camera might be off by 10 seconds or so. Thanks, Wild Bill, Alley Kick, Anne Marie, and Haley. Hey, wow, there was a challenge in here. I didn't even see it. Thank you. Yeah, there's one. And this one says it's at the same intersection here. All right, let's see if that really is that. See that little manhole on the ground there? So that should be like through the I think I see the manhole right there. Isn't that weird? Yeah, pretty sure that that's the manhole. Yeah, and it's perfectly lined up with those crosswalk angled things. So there it is. So that means it just right after it went through that intersection. So they're off by a few seconds, like 10, 15 seconds, the footage. Okay. Oh, jeez, right there. Alright, so there's the vehicle. And it kind of just goes around the corner up there. So I'll just save these two. Alright, and then what's the next one? Good night, Sandy. Hey, thanks you guys for doing that challenge there. So what's this west one? Does that have anything on it? There's 4 cameras at that intersection. That should have something on it. That's not it. There's another car soon after this, though, somewhere. I think, yeah, so we should see the vehicle coming from right over here. Because I think this is that weird side street. So we should see a vehicle coming over here and, you know, any second now. It's hard to tell if that camera's off a little bit too. So it should be like 5:25, 15 or something. I don't see it. No, it's 5:28, wasn't it? God. Hold on. Okay, it's going to be in there. Not 5:25. Alright, should be coming up here. Oh, there it was. So it went the other the opposite of what I said. That's right. That's the one that goes in. There's another one that looks similar on the other side. Or was it before that? There it was. Alright. Just that little tiny clip. Yeah. So if that's going that direction, that means that it's right here. It was going to the right. Just weird. I thought it was that side right there. I think it does the same thing over here, though, right? Yeah, there you go. So that I think we're looking at about like this. And then there's 2. Yep, got those. Yep, those are slanted. Just like these. So yeah, that makes sense. So again, that's where it came from. So that camera is up here. I'm not sure whether they have, need so many in one spot like that, but so it looks like that was the end of that. Oh, there it kept going. Okay. Now I need to go extend it out to. Yeah, I think that might be the end of it. Weirdly. Now I can't get a light version on that. So that would go in there, and yeah. All right. So then there's these other cameras also. Oh, the joy, huh? That's part. Let's see. Part 2. Yeah, so there's Grimes, 529. That's right. See, a lot of these are like AVI files that this doesn't take. So I don't know. I mean, if I converted them, I'd do it, but let's see if they're in part 1 here. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I could have got lucky. Did I do this? Oh yeah, I did convert them. Sweet. Look at that. MP4s. Alright. So that was Nevada. And then Grimes. Is Grimes next here? Some of these you can see the car really, really well. See, it says Nevada's right there. And then there it is, Grimes right here. So the next series should be at this intersection. And this one, maybe I won't make daylight. I only did the first one so you could see that it came off the highway. Alright, so here we go. There's the clip. So that one didn't pick up the car. And I think you can see just the top of it right there. See that? These are all at the same intersection. Now this one might be better. There you go. See, that's a good one there. I mean, look at that. That is just crystal clear. Kohberger driving it. So there it goes, still heading away. Boom. See that? And then it goes that direction. There's another one. Let's see if this one's worth anything. Oh, cool. That's it coming towards it, so that is good. Alright, so this is it. The vehicle coming towards the camera. And then this is it going through the intersection. So I'd probably just go like that. So here it comes. It's coming from the highway way down there, right? And then here it comes through the intersection. And then there it is, being picked up going through it. Alright, then the next road is Wilson, I think. So let's just look here. So if we go down, which one is that? That's Pullman. Oh wait, does that say Wilson? That is Wilson. So the very next street. So this one, and then this one right here. Probably should have something similar on that one. Well, let's see. Does this have anything? You guys finding this interesting at all? I mean, if you've been following for the 2 days, you just see how like his car is tracked the whole time. I mean, it's crazy. And then they got him on cast data for the rest of it. I forget that one. Here's another one. Don't see it on that. Okay, then it goes through the intersection right there. All right, and then what's this last one? Okay, so that one's first, the other one. All right, so here he is. We'll just do this part so far. So here he comes in to Pullman off the highway. Could probably make that shorter. All right. So right after it leaves the camera there, should switch now. That needs to be bigger. There we go. And then goes through that same intersection there at Nevada, driving away. You can see it way down there. And then it's at Grimes Street. Here it comes. And then it goes through the intersection. And then that one can be shorter. Actually, these are timed up. 37. No, they're not. They're all off a little bit. Alright. Like, people just show up and leave because it's not sensationalistic. I mean, if you actually want to learn about the case, this is what you want to do. You know? Sucks. I don't know, man. I'm not entertained as much as I want. I gotta go. He's not selling bullshit. All right, let's see. There's some really good ones coming up. Oh, that's when it turns. There you go. I remember that. Turns and then it goes around. That. All right, what about these other ones? Yeah, that's good. And that's right as it's turning. So that's before. See, look how good that is. If you go from that last shot here as it's just drove away. Then a little bit further down, here comes the vehicle. I'm gonna Are you guys even following along, or I can't tell. See that as it was making the turn. Let me see if I can get that even better timed up. Oh yeah. So it's really, he's like right there. Right there. Oh man, that's perfect. And you can see the headlights hit that as it's turning. Yeah. Yeah, so those didn't have anything. It's right here though. Alright guys, if you could help support the channel, we're still only at 33%, if you can believe that. Well, maybe, let's see. Yeah, 33%. Or 38%. I was just thinking. Yeah. Any chance you guys could help support the channel? That's what we do on the show. People support the channel. I do this stuff. Other channels don't care. The reason my channel cares is because I want to survive as a channel, and we also have donated $304,000 since January of 2020. And we're still doing that. We just did 4,000 last month. So I need your guys' support, you know, instead of just going, yeah. Okay, yeah, it really is important. So here is the, I mean, Kohberger is sitting in that car right there. Isn't that crazy? And see, it has the non-fog lights on there, the inserts. Which is, and it also, if you notice, crystal clear photograph without a front license plate. I mean, literally, you couldn't have asked for a better shot, and it has no front license plate, just like his. So, I mean, there is no doubt that that is Kohberger's vehicle, and it was just tracked all the way around from the Moscow area. Thanks, Wild Bill. Yeah, it looks like there's a dark, like a plate there. I don't know where the plate is. Might be right up in here. But yeah, isn't that crazy? He absolutely doesn't have a front license plate there. So that's it. Okay, so what we just saw from above is he drove, from the gas station, or this, first he drove by there, and then he drove by this gas station right here. I think it was like a Sun Mart or something. Is that right? That's my memory. It just popped in. Is there a Sun Mart, or what the hell's the name of that thing? I'm gonna have to zoom in. That's a Sunset Mart. That was close. All right, yeah, so that's it. So what he did was he went here, went to the red light, turned left, and then he drove here. He went by Nevada, Grimes. So he went by Nevada Street, then, let's see, which one was Grimes? So Nevada was early on. That was right here. And then Grimes came up, I think I'm not sure which one it is, but the route, though, is all the way up here. And then he made it right here to Cougar Way, and that's where he just took that right, just like that. And then he drives away that direction. So that last part, that's what you're seeing. He drove around up there. And then, from an overall perspective, then, that means that, his house is right there. So he just kind of went up like this and then went into his apartment complex. See that? Real simple. We made it home. All right, so anyways, we got all that in there. Then the cast data from his phone shows that he arrived back in Pullman at around 5:30, which is exactly the time frame that we were just looking at. And then at 5:30, vehicle turns north on Stadium Way, turning east on on Cougar Way, and that's when he's not seen on camera anymore. And that's that last shot that I just showed you. Okay, that's at 5:30 and 18 seconds. And then at 6:13, literally 43 minutes later, Kohberger calls his mother, just 43 minutes after getting home after killing 4 people, and there was no answer. So then Kohberger called his father. He needed to speak to somebody. But then I guess then he probably said, "Oh, your mom's available now." And then at 6:17, he calls his mother and talks for 46 minutes. And then the phone call with his mother ended at 6:53. And then 37 minutes after that, Bethany calls her dad, just in 1122 King Road. And then at 8 o'clock, Bethany calls her dad again. Then at 8 o'clock, Bethany calls another number. And then 8:01, Bethany calls home. Or maybe mom. I can't tell. I misspelled that. And then 8:02, Bethany calls mom. And then 8:03, Kohberger calls mother and talks for 54 minutes. At 8:03. And then, what's interesting about that is, like, that phone call, as it's ending, he's getting in his car and he drives all the way back to Moscow, Idaho. So look at that. At 8:03, he talks for 54 minutes. That would make it 8:57 when that call ends. But then 8:05, Dylan begins using Instagram. 8:09, Dylan begins using, or 8:09, Bethany's dad calls her. Then 8:41, Bethany starts taking photos of, I don't know, selfies or whatever, who knows. 8:42, Bethany stops taking photos. Then at 8:57, Kohberger's call with mother ends. And then 9 o'clock, right at that same moment in time, the cast data shows him leaving the area of his residence. So he just talked to his mom, and then he leaves the area. And then at 9:04, Bethany's mom texts her. at 8:04:36. Then 9:12, it's actually right around, like, I guess cast data shows that Kohberger's phone is in Moscow, Idaho. Isn't that crazy? Like, he's talking to his mom, and he gets in his car, and he drives all the way over to Moscow. And then at 9:12 and 59 seconds, to further verify that, they actually see his white Elantra driving by the A&W at 9:12 and 59 seconds. And that, by the way, is... Do I still have it in here? I could see. I think it's like that. Right there. This video. See this? This is 9, 12 and 58 seconds at the top there. And there it is. There goes his Elantra. Isn't that crazy? There you go. Could make it about that big. See how it's all completely lined up? And then at 9:21, the cast data shows he's near Moscow, Idaho, and that he actually utilized the same resources as 1122 King Road. I don't know if they're saying he was within 100 meters, though. There aren't a ton of cell towers out there. And then at 9:32, it shows that he's nearing his residence again. So he just drove all the way over there, turned around, and went back. But he stayed there for, I would say, probably 9 minutes. He was in Moscow, Idaho. I think he was just looking to see the carnage that he created. Maybe hoping that there would be, rescue people or cops and all kinds of mayhem going on. But to his surprise, nobody was there at all. I mean, nobody was even aware, other than even Bethany and Dylan weren't aware that everybody was dead. They just were hoping that something really bad didn't happen. And then at 10:45, Dylan stops using Instagram. And then, 10 o'clock and 45 seconds. And 10 o'clock and 56 seconds, Dylan starts message incoming and outgoing Snapchat. And 10:01, Dylan ends Snapchat. 10:01, Dylan is on Instagram. 10:03, I think she's just trying to get a hold of people that might know something. Meaning the roommates. And then 10:03, Dylan ends Instagram. 10:04, Dylan exits Indeed. I guess she was on, that's like a job site or something. And then 10:04, Dylan starts Snapchat communications. 10:23, Dylan ends Snapchat communications. 10:23 and 23 seconds, Dylan texts Bethany. Maybe she's back up in her room now. But man, going back up to your room would be, you wouldn't want to look down the hallway. And then 10:24, Dylan is on Instagram. 10:25, Dylan exits Instagram. 10:30, Dylan messaging on Snapchat. 10:31, Kohberger takes a picture of himself. That's the one in the bathroom with his thumbs up. Isn't that crazy? Right then. And still, when he does the thumbs up picture, law enforcement isn't aware. Then 10:45, Dylan ends Snapchat. 10:56, Dylan Mortensen Instagram and messages on Snapchat. Then 11:21, I can't remember who JM texts Bethany Funk. And then 11:29, Dylan Mortensen ends Snapchat. Then 11:29, Dylan Mortensen texts Kaylee. And 11:29, 41 seconds, Dylan is on Instagram and Snapchat. Probably trying to find somebody that knows something. Then 11:31, Kohberger is near Lewiston in Clarkston, Washington, according to Dateline, 1 hour after selfie. Then 11:32:45, Dylan is off Instagram and Snapchat. So he's already almost to Clarkston, and law enforcement still isn't aware. Isn't that wild? But hey, guys, we need to get the support for the channel up. We definitely need more channel members. We just only have 11 gifted memberships tonight. We're really struggling. I mean, just to tell you the numbers, we need 5 channel memberships to reach the goal. That's how slow it's been. So, if you guys are out there, that would be great. All right, then we got Dylan's on Yik Yak. I mean, all this stuff is just like, it doesn't make any difference. 11:37, messages Snapchat. Then Dylan starts to text with her dad. Then Dylan ends text with dad. Then Dylan is on Instagram. Then Bethany Funk calls. I can't remember who JM is. I think that's a friend, a girl. And then Dylan off of Instagram at 11:50. JM texts. I think this is that friend that came over with Hunter. Like, isn't that Hunter's girlfriend? Then Dylan calls Ethan, or I don't know, EA. Emily. I think that's Emily. I don't know. I think these are, Emily is Ethan's. Isn't it Emily Ethan's? Or not Ethan. Hunter's girlfriend. That's what I meant to say. Anyways. And then we got 11:51. JM texts Bethany Funk. So they're communicating back and forth to come over, basically, is what's going on right here. And then Dylan Mortensen goes on Instagram. 3 texts from JM again. And then Bethany Funk calls 911 at 11:56. Then 11:57, Dylan Mortensen is on Instagram, off of Instagram. And then 12:34. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, right as cops are there, and then Kohberger shows up at Costco. Yeah, that's where we got all that stuff. So I guess we still got to keep going through all of that. I don't know. I don't think the interest level is that great for this. I thought you guys were going to be really excited about it. It's just not. I can tell. The conversations you guys are having aren't really related to it. The support for the channel sucks, and there's not very many people that even show up. It's like, this is the kind of stuff that everybody should be more interested in than sitting there talking about Bethany and Dylan Mortensen for 24/7. Okay? It really just frustrates the shit out of me. Okay? Yeah, sure. I'm sure it's great, But we've had so many people show up and they go, okay, and they go do something else. Because they just can't be, bothered. Everybody's so into the shorts, the TikTok, quick little videos that, I mean, I could do all the Clarkston stuff now, I guess. Maybe I could try that. Right, that's what people say, Lisa. Everybody goes, oh, I love it, but it doesn't end up that way. Alright, I got a bunch of different things. This is when he goes into Costco. And then I think this is also... That's, yeah, so first thing we have is him going to Costco here. You know, it's weird. I was the first person to put this out, this clip. I don't know how that happened, but he doesn't realize he's supposed to have a card to go into Costco or something. Yeah, I just killed a bunch of people and, you know. Okay, see ya. That's him right there. Oh, interesting. Let's see. So what is he doing? I think that was what he was just doing right there. He's on that. Yeah, that's exactly where he was. Huh. He's on that those little lines going across. I was looking at that on the ground. See that right there? That's what he was just walking on. See, first he's over, kind of starts going over there. Ah, shit. God, that stupid thing where, and those are his feet though. He's walking. Oh man, did it again. What the hell? We could definitely use a challenge, you guys. See, he's on that long cross. That's just right there. I bet you there's a street view right from that spot. Yeah, so he started to go over there. So that means he's probably parked kind of like right over here. You know, just based on what he did. He first went a little left and then he went right. All right, and then I think the next shot is from over here. Maybe not. That looks like that might be. Hell, I don't know. I think it's right over here. So yeah, that's exactly where that is. So that means the camera is basically like this. There's no 3D, but that's where the camera is. Maybe a little bit more like that. Should be an arrow. There's the arrow right there. That right, these two arrows. Yeah. Okay, so that camera's over there. So he went walking over to his car over here, but then he drives out like that. And this is later, in the morning, or now it's afternoon. But hey guys, I need your guys' support. I've already said it like 75 times, and it looks like we're just, just sitting here. I don't know what the deal is, We're just, every night it's just such a, having to hustle hard every single night. Hey everybody, hey. I wish you guys just, like it used to be in here, where people were just supporting because they knew that this is like better than everybody else does when they cover this shit. Instead, I have to sit there and it's not fun. All right, there he is right there. And then he turns right and then he drives all the way around over there. Goes like that. What do you mean Tupac trial? I don't even know what that even means. He's dead. Yeah, we don't know, Aphrodite. We don't know. All right, let's, so we got this one. And then the next shot. The next one is actually over at Kate's Cup of Joe. Thanks, Allie Cake. I'm not interested in Tupac. I'm just not. And I'm sorry that I'm not interested in all the really cool cliche cases that everybody likes. That just sounds so incredibly boring to watch that. It's just, my God. Tupac. Ooh, wow. Yay. I mean, my God. That's just ridiculous. All right, let's see. This one. I'm not sure where I'm looking for the one at the... What's the name of that place again over here? Kate's Cup of Joe, right? There's no Kate's Cup of Joe in there. Oh, there. I think this looks like it. Yeah. I think this is the only shot, too. From. So you got that. And then here it is. Man, what a crappy small video. And so there's Kate's Cup of Joe. And he drove right through the damn thing. He just drove right through, and then he kind of goes out and he drives out, and you see him, he turned left again, and then he heads, you see his car go by at some point. And then, let's see, Albertsons. Can't remember which one that is. Yeah, that's him pulling in to Albertsons. Oh, that's him leaving there. Okay. Put that in there. And let me see what this is. I do shows every single night. Thanks, Snow Chris. Yeah, I do shows every night. So is that when he's... Okay, that's when he's driving away. 104.33. This is 12:58. So that's right. He goes to his car for a couple minutes. That's when I'm pulling in. And then what's this one? That looks like him leaving as well. Is that the same one? Oh, it's two different cameras. Weird. I didn't know that. I forgot they had that. Alright, well, where's the one where he walks into the place? Is it this one? Oh, there's some turning in. Okay, so we can put those two together. And then I think the next shot is him walking. Is that him right there? Pretty sure that's him. Isn't that him? That's kind of how he walks. Yeah, that's gotta be him. Alright, so then now we've got all these other things, I think, in order. Okay, and then this is when he's inside. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. And Alley Cake again. Hey, wow, we got Marty saying, get 5 gifted memberships from the freaks. Thank you for the coffee can. Okay, that's him going in. I'm not sure what gloves you're talking about. He didn't wear gloves on this one. There's that other footage from, some other date where he's wearing gloves. Has nothing to do with this. Not at Albertson. Could have been another time he was at Albertsons, but. Alright, I think this is it right here. So this should be... Are these all good size-wise? Yeah. Gotta make that bigger. Thanks, Alley Cake and Wild Bill Wassman. Right there. Yeah, these are probably all the same. Alright, I'll play it from the beginning. So this is when he goes On here, he goes from Kate's Cup of Joe, which is right there. So what we just saw, what he does is he drives in like this, comes around, or actually comes around over here, and then he stops here, then he turns, drives down this street, just like this, and then he makes his way to Albertsons. And what we see on Albertsons is him pull in, and I actually have this all mapped out. Like if I hit, let me see. And if I unhide every single thing in the Kohberger case, you'll see it. Yeah, right here. So he parked right where I have it right there, and then he drives out that way. So here comes his car into Albertsons. Make it bigger. Hey, thanks, Betsy Ross. And you can actually see his car. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. I don't know if that's it right there. I thought he parked by a... Yeah, like he pulls forward. Let's see. This is it right there. That's right. He pulled on the other side of that truck. Right there. He's on the other side of that truck. And then, so again, that's right over here, right? That's the other side of the truck. So let's see. Does Kohberger... Oh, I guess we're going to see it. Is that his car again? Different time? Yep, he's pulling through. There he is right there. So this is just a different angle of the same exact moment in time. So then he pulls over to the side behind that truck right there. And then he gets out of the car and he starts walking. At some point. And there he is right there. Here he comes. And I think it's timed up pretty well, right when he kind of turns to the right and goes in. Let's see. Right there he goes in. And I think that could be tightened up. So I think it's going to be, he turns in just like that. And then I'm going to say about there. So that all the rest of that doesn't need to be in there. Alright, so there he is walking down the sidewalk again. This is 12:49:20. Let me see if that worked perfectly. Let's see. 12:29:23. 24, 25, 26. Oh, 27. Man, it was almost perfectly edited randomly. Like within a half second. And there he goes. He goes in. That's how you want to edit things so it's not confusing to people. You don't go, well, I don't really, it doesn't matter. You got to do it right on the, like boom, he goes around the corner and then he goes in. Hey, thanks, Buke 555 out there. Thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. And Marty. And there he is buying something. Thank you, Haley. Is he talking to somebody? I think their backs to him. That's pretty good timing. Let's see what on the clock. So 12:57. So 12:58:02 is right there. Yeah, there's actually 1 second gap in there. Hey, thanks, Devin. Thanks, guys. Okay, so that's, I guess what the way you want to do this is kind of go like, this is 12:58. I mean, is the other one better than that? No. I think it'd be better to do that one first. Yeah. So take that one. Move that. So he comes out, and then maybe when, let's see, he puts that right foot down, like right after the second one, the bag's there, right foot down. Then I think you just get rid of the rest of that one. And then on this one, I think it's that second one. Right there. Pretty sure that's similar. And let's see if the time makes sense. 12:58:06. Oh yeah, that's right on it. 12:58:07.217, and then 12:58:07.333. So it's really close. So that's how I would do it, like this. It comes out, get a little glimpse of not the greatest surveillance right there, and then boom, the good shit. This is better, right? So you might as well just show that one instead of wasting time showing the other one. Well, thanks, Marty, for doing a challenge there. Oh, Why do you think he's dressed like a Mormon? He's dressed like a dork, you know. And then I think he pulls away. There he is, right? I think that's him right there. And then he goes over to here and takes off. And then he disappears for about 4 hours, 5 hours. I wonder if law enforcement, that's something I'd really want to know about their CAS data. He had his phone with him, so do they know where he was between, this 150 or 104 and 5:30? Because I think even on the timeline it's like that. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So 104:16, he's in the Albertsons parking lot, and then there's nothing until 5:32, and he's near. So his phone turns on again at 5:32, and then off at 5:36 near Johnson. Now, see, that's what's so interesting about that. The tree thing. Oh man, let me turn all this off again. Wasn't it green? There's that one. No. Nope. There's part of it. Jeez. That's crazy. There's so many. I think that's probably... There you go. Yeah, so at 5:32, Johnson is right... where the hell is it? Johnson's right around in this area. 5:32 to 5:36. So it's... And there's even a cell tower right around here. I have that marked as well. But then this is where that tree is. So look how it's not far from Johnson, that tree, We go from right there to here. It's 3 miles. And so in the documents, a witness called in and said that on that evening he saw, but this document had already come out, so it's hard to say 100%. He said he saw a tree, and he described exactly where it was. Like you just go over this little creek here, a little bridge or whatever he called it, and I think you can go down the street view and see it. Yeah, right here, this little bridge, he called this. It kind of goes over this little tiny creek. And he said on the other side of the creek, there is a tree, and he saw a white foreign vehicle parked underneath it that night. So isn't it interesting that there's that tree, and what if that's where in the morning he put the knife and he buried it underneath that tree, making it quite a ways away from Moscow. So he probably thought, oh yeah, I could just go pick it up again. And maybe he went and picked it up, because he wouldn't want to be driving into Moscow with a bloody knife, right? So let's say he puts it underneath this tree here. They said that it looked like there was disturbed ground underneath the tree. Law enforcement did. So let's just say, for theory's sake, he put the knife there, and then after driving around later, and then he comes back in this area, he just turns his phone on just for a moment, 5:32 to 5:36. So he could get to this one little spot here to pick up the knife, and then boom, phone's off again. And then that's when he got rid of the knife somewhere in the evening, not when he went down to Clarkston and whatnot. I think that was just sort of make it look like he was somewhere else. But then you also say, well, where was he for those 4 hours? So, it's hard to say. But the reason and then what was interesting was once I found the tree, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I just happened to, I don't even know why, but I was looking at other dates. And then here, look at that. There's a white vehicle parked right under the same tree. And then I thought, okay, well, that's, you know. And then I looked at the date, and it was 7/16/2022. So Kohberger is in Pullman at the time that that white car is right there. And in fact, it's even after that pool party where he's already starting his stalking ways. Did he show up right there? Kind of determined that would be a good spot at some point? Yeah, I don't know, man. Just really, that was weird, that whole thing there. And then, you know, the night that he drove home, they're just using cast data. So let's say he did turn here, right? And he's got the knife in his car. So look how this makes sense right here. Let's say he had the knife in his car with him and he drove like this. And he turned. He went on the same, I think it's called Kuykendall Road. But then after he got to this end, he didn't take a quick left. He drove this way just for a moment to get to the tree. And he puts the knife there. And then he turns around, goes straight down this road again. And then boom, he's right here where he eventually goes by all those surveillance cameras coming into town. You see that? I mean, it's such a perfect little, that would take literally 4 minutes. You know, if you had like a pre-dug hole or something over here. I mean, let's see how far this is. So if he just turned right and went like this, I bet that's just, not even a mile. Well, it's 1.6 miles. So that means it's barely, not even 2 miles, 1.5 miles. It would take, maybe 6-minute drive if you're driving speed limit. But you could probably do it much quicker than that. But don't you think that's crazy? Or he could have done this. See, they don't know that he turned on Kuykendall. So one of the other theories that I had was he turned right on Gimlin. I think it was Gimlin or whatever the hell it is. I can't really say. I didn't really remember the name. I just remember there's a street there. And he drove down here, and then he just went to right there, and it comes out right at the tree, and then he just drove up this direction. You know, they're just sort of guessing they turned here, but look how close that is. That could easily look like that on cast data. So he would have turned right there, and then boom, he's right at the tree, puts it there, then turns left on Johnson, and Johnson goes right back into town, leading to Highway 270. What do you guys think of that? Hello? God, see, you guys just start talking about the stuff. You know, it's like, it's just, I look in the chat, I'm hoping everybody's listening, and you're talking about stuff that's absolutely unrelated. I mean, it's just so disheartening. For anybody who was listening, what did you think of that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like, and it is possible, but I'm just saying, if the witness really did see a white car there, then, and that happens to be Kohberger, and there was disturbed dirt, as if they had dug it up. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, this is how they have it on the probable cause, but remember the probable cause had him going down Highway 95, and that wasn't accurate. So I would think that, just saying it turned there, that made him, it may have seemed like a good way to go, but how do we know he didn't turn? I mean, what does the street look like? Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of roads he likes, man. These little dirt roads. Gimlin. Yeah, so you just get on that. Bolt across over here. And then I'm not sure, this part here, though. Yeah, it's the same one. I was just trying to make sure. Yeah, so he just kept driving through there, and then comes out right at this little intersection, turns right, puts the knife down, turns around, gets on Johnson, drives this way, and then boom, straight into town. So there you go. Yeah, man, that's weird. Wouldn't that be amazing if that really is his car underneath that tree there? It's just, that would be so insane. The Kohbergers would say that's a sunroof, but that looks like a shadow to me from the tree. Got the windshield there, and then a shadow there. Yeah, just, God, it's so weird. I mean, just think about, it's July 16th, Kohberger's in town, and there's this white car under the same tree that a witness said he saw a white car under that very same evening, right when Kohberger is in the area and his phone's pinging. It turns on at 5:32 to 5:36. I don't know. Yeah, that's some amazing stuff. Wouldn't that be crazy if the nut job Kohbergers would ever just spend as much time on this kind of stuff that's more interesting than pretending Bethany Funk is some serial killer? I mean, it's just, you guys are freaking crazy people. Anyways, so at 5:32 to 5:36, that's when the phone turned on in that general area of that tree. All right? And that's why law enforcement went and looked at that, because it's like, man, that's right in that time frame. And they saw disturbed dirt, as if something was dug up in that area. And then at 8:30... the phone is back on the network. So where was it for those 3 hours when it wasn't on the network? Is that when he was actually disposing of the knife? What if during the 1 to 5:30 he was looking for a place to put it? Maybe even digging a hole somewhere else, far away, or, who knows? He was just going to throw it somewhere. And then he goes and retrieves it, and then when it's dark out, that's when he takes it to that spot so he can't be seen during daylight hours. That actually makes more sense, doesn't it? And then we've got, November 15th is when an edged weapon was mentioned on NBC in an NBC article. So just 2 days later, they're already talking about it. Then November 15th, Kohberger looked to purchase another K-bar knife. Was that for his next killing, where he was going to leave another knife sheath at the scene? And then 11/16, K-bar knife mentioned in the papers. 11/16, Kohberger at 9 in the morning Googled murders for the first time, so he's looking into it 4 days later. Then on November 18th, Kohberger registered his vehicle in Washington. That's why he did the murders when he did, and that's why he had to do them, because he needed to change his registration. Then 11/22, let's see, at 7 in the morning, the user navigated to pages related to the deletion of account activity, also looked to buy a utility sheath and a K-bar leather sheath. 11/22, Othram Labs was given the DNA. On November 25th, Moscow, Idaho Police Department asked local law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for a white Honda, 4 white Honda Elantras. Then on 11/29, at 12:28 a.m., Officer Daniel Tiango located a white Elantra with plates LFZ 8649 registered to Bryan Kohberger. Then on 11/29, the same evening, 30 minutes later, Officer Curtis Whitman located a white Elantra plates LFC 8649. So 2 police officers that very same night found the vehicle. So he would have been in the system regardless. And then 11:30, this is the, if Papa Rogers was related. I don't think it was, but was mentioned the sheath. And then 12/2/2022, Pullman, he got a haircut again. I mean, jeez, that's crazy. And then when did he get that last haircut? 11/7, and then he got one on 12/2. That's about the amount of time he normally takes. And then 12/5, Pullman received CFB 87. Okay, Kohberger received his new license plate. Then on 12/6/2022, Amazon, he almost purchased another K-bar knife. 12/7/2022, Moscow, Idaho police. They are looking for a white Honda Elantra, 2011 to 2013. But it turns out that the specifications actually match 2011 to 2016. You can actually replace the windows in all those years using the same window. And then 12/10, Othram Labs transferred the DNA data to the FBI. They were given it on 11/22 and then transferred it on 12/10. And then 12/15, Indiana on trip from Pullman, PA with father. Kohberger was pulled over twice. 12/16, he arrived at his parents' house. 12/19, Kohberger's fired. 12/19, investigative genetic genealogy by FBI identified Kohberger. So while he was driving home, that has to be random that those cops pulled him over, because they didn't even know who he was until 12/19. There might have been, like, maybe they had indications. I don't know. But 12/27, Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. They discovered trash from Kohberger's residence, and a DNA sample was determined to be Bryan Kohberger's father. 12/29, DNA profile led to biological father of the contributor to the DNA sheath. I guess that's sounds kind of similar. Anyways, 12/30/2022 at 1:45, Kohberger was arrested. That's AM, and taken into custody. There you go. Awesome. How do you guys start talking about tornadoes? How does this have to do with tornadoes? It's just so amazing. Chicken wing. I mean, it's like, do you ever just talk about what we're talking about? Let's see. Yeah, so we just went through the whole thing. Maybe I should put out a video with that on it. I guess I'd need to get the other surveillance, like when he got pulled over by the cops, and those 2 different videos. Great. I wouldn't be texting if you have a tornado. I'd be doing something else. I wouldn't be watching YouTube. If you got a tornado, you shouldn't be over here. Let's see. It's like the people when they go, oh my God, there's these guys shooting up the house next door, and they're chatting. It's like, well, why are you chatting? Get on the phone and call somebody. Let's see. Well, because you're usually the one always talking about something else, chicken wing. You gotta remember that. I know you didn't start the conversation. It's just the way it is for you, chicken wing. You're very rarely talking about the case. Just be honest. You know how it is. So, are you all boarded up in your cellar over there? Okay, go ahead, chicken wing. See you later. You always get so upset about nothing. Nobody cares. Just goofing around. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I don't know. You know, the thing is, I don't really care when people are just talking about random things, but it seems like a lot of times lately, the whole show is like nobody's really, very few people are actually focusing on what we're talking about. So it gets kind of like, it gets, I don't know, frustrating, if that's the right word. I think we got everything in there. It's great. Nah, that's okay. I mean, you're freaking out because you got a tornado. Okay. I guess I wasn't following along on the conversation. I just, after I went through that whole thing, I went back to look at the chat, and I didn't see one comment related to what I was talking about. So I guess that's the part. Good night, Wild Bill Wassman. I'm going to try to go fishing tomorrow morning. See if I can catch that one that had the jig in his mouth. I guess I'm done talking about the case now. If you can't beat him, join him, right? You just skip it and move on to what everybody else is talking about. Gosh, Gray, I can't believe you called me out of... Come on, Chicken Wing, you're always the one. You jump in every time there's something else. You know what? That is my phone that does that. That little sound. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, then just do that then, Chicken Wing. It's no big deal. You just have to just deal with me saying something sometimes. It's not a big deal. I don't care. 10 minutes later, I don't give a shit. It's just at the time, it's frustrating. Because what I'd like it is if I was talking about something and then I look over and then there's something I can respond to or something, but almost never is. I think it's probably because I'm so thorough with my description that what in the hell would you even have to ask? It's just... You know that one cop interview where he pulls over and let's see, when he gets pulled over, maybe in September or August, maybe I don't remember the date, and he's kind of like on the way back to Pullman on a highway. Well, I have that out of a FOIA request, and somebody copyrighted it like it's theirs, like it says, well, you can't monetize your video. The one I had the video from months ago, they demonetized that one. Nobody watches it anymore, and it's not even their video to claim as their own. It's a freaking public video. It's from a body camera. It's stupid. Yeah, jeez, Wild Bill. Yeah. So I don't know why they would do that. Yeah. It's like, I mean, I have just as much right as anybody. All of us do. It's a body camera. Let's see. I don't even know when those came out. Did those come out after? I don't remember now. When those videos came out. Oh yeah, I've got the one where Ethan Chapin was pulled over. I'm just kind of looking at these. Oh yeah. Yeah, what I was saying, Chicken Wing, is just don't take it personally. It's just me saying you're almost always talking about something else because you don't, that's just your. So whenever I see you, I always go, oh, there she is talking about something else. It's just, it is what it is. It's no big deal. I don't care. I like having you around and whatnot. I mean, you're funny sometimes. I just don't understand. Like you get too upset too fast. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know where that clip is anymore. Didn't those come out even before trial or anything? Those body camera shots, like those were put out way before, I think. So they might be in my older. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's not wearing a seatbelt. I've seen it. I just watched it again. Okay, just don't let it bother you when I say it, Chicken Wing. It's just part of the lore. Okay, just chat away, whatever you want to chat away about. It's no big deal. Thanks for talking to somebody about a tornado. But I don't know why they're here if they've got 80-mile-an-hour winds spinning around outside their home. I would be, sheltered down and. Is it this one? Okay, here's one of them. All right, so I'm gonna throw these in there. Maybe we should put every single piece in here. The surveillance. So we got this one, remember? And this one's from October. I actually agreed with his argument. You should be able to claim an intersection, don't you think? Right? Everybody should be able to claim an intersection. And if you can't claim an intersection, you'll be sitting at the intersection for months. Or at least an hour. Let's say it's like rush hour and you want to turn left on a green light, but you got to wait for the light. I mean, what do? It's you got to claim the intersection, and you're the one that makes it through. You turn left after the light just turns red. So I think that should be how you should be able to do it. So there's one. I don't know. When did that other one come out? Was that after he pled guilty? The one with the. It seemed like that was a long time ago, too. I can't stand is when people don't claim the intersection. I honk at them. It's like, what are you doing? Pull forward. Like the guy on the other lane has his left turn signal on, and you have your left turn signal on. Can't you both sort of pull out and turn together? It's crazy, these people. And they just sit there and they wonder why people are frustrated. Yeah, let's see. Let me make these large icons. See if I can find it somewhere. Yes, it is the worst. Yeah. God, there's so much surveillance and everything. It's crazy. Idaho suspect Bryan Kohberger traffic. Oh yeah, so there's this traffic stop. Also, that's one. That's the one that he speaks. Then there's a secondary one. Well, there it is right there. Yeah, so this stop. Well, I think that's just when he's outside. Is that the same one as this one? There's like one of them had two different. So that could be him. Yeah, that might be the same stop. And then there's another time he gets pulled over. Where he's driving down the... Yeah, there's one where he's driving down the highway and then he pulls over. Don't know where that one is. Oh, cool. I just found this one, though. Yeah, I just found that. I think that's the first place they walk by. Yeah, right there. Let me see if I can make this work here. There's no... I don't have audio on this. Wait, maybe I should, though. There it is. Yeah, that one worked good. And then... right over there. Then right here. And then across the street to the grub truck. Then they're at the grub truck the whole time. Then at their grub truck, you see them... like, look how perfect the timing on this. So here they are right there. And then, boom, here they are walking over to the vehicle. So we got that, and then I think we... and this is the vehicle coming in after being, as they're being dropped off. So it's like that, boom, and then here they are. And then we've got Kohberger coming. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, I don't know if people would ever even watch the damn thing if I put all the stuff together in order, but... see. Yeah. I've been pulled over, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I got pulled over in Moscow because I went 30. I don't know, what was it, like 30 and a 15 or no, it wasn't. It was like 32 or something and a 20. I don't even remember what it was. It was something really minor. Hey, thanks, Haley. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get out of here pretty soon. Maybe we'll just play our top 5 songs, top 6, and I'll get out of Dodge. I gotta go. I gotta get up in the morning. All right. But anyways, thanks you guys. Let me say thanks to we got thanks to Paul Marino, Penelope, KMTX, Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake, Wild Bill, Haley, Wild Bill, and then we got Tracy Antioch, KMTX, Wild Bill, then Alley Cake, then Haley, then Tracy Antioch, and then Wild Bill. Wild Bill kept us alive. And Haley, too. Haley, Wild Bill, Alley Cake, Anne-Marie, then Haley Gifted 5, then we had Wild Bill, Haley Chicken Wing, Alley Cake, Wild Bill, Snow, Chris, Wild Bill, Alley Cake, Betsy Ross, Haley, Devin Cruz, Haley. Well, thank you guys. And then we also had Lisa Valenzuela and Marty and on coffees, and then a $10 Venmo from Michael. So that's cool. But yeah, we didn't make the goal tonight. And you'd think with that kind of interesting information. But I guess it's not really that entertaining since I'm looking stuff up and trying to put it together. And it's nice to have it all in one place like that, though, again. And that surveillance we just got out of Twin Falls, man, that thing, they had so many cameras there. That's how it should be. You got the same one, what? Well, it's 9:22 where I live. It's not that late right now. All right, see you later. Jessica Schubach. How are the fires doing over there, by the way? Looks like they're still happening a little bit. Oh, the speeding ticket, yeah. Yeah, I got that one. I've had other speeding tickets too, though. You know, I've been driving for 42 years, so it's like, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to have a couple tickets here and there. I mean, you know, if you get one once every 5 years, you're probably doing pretty good. Yeah, change it to, you know what would be weird, Chicken Wing? Change it to something totally different. And I'll see if I still pick up on, wow, this person keeps talking about something. I bet I can't. I bet I wouldn't. I think it's just that now I see your name. That's funny. I didn't get one in Orem. Why are you asking that? What a weird question. Yeah. Why would I get one in Orem? I don't really understand the question there, Devin. I think what we need is if we get 5 more Channel memberships. Well, actually, it's 8. That would get us to the goal. Yeah. I was just adding up the non-YouTube, and we'd still need 8 total to get to the just the minimum goal number, which isn't good. Yeah, 'cause the minimum goal number isn't good. You know, that's just the number I try to get to just to, you know, hope. Yeah. Right, I'm too detailed oriented. People don't want to have details. They just want to pretend that it's something else. Yeah, well, get, don't you have a basement or something, Aphrodite? What state do you live in? Yeah, yeah, don't bring your Yorkie or whatever the hell that terrier is, that Cairn Terrier, I think it is. Yeah, if you have a Cairn Terrier and a bike, don't do it, as Marty said. I play 6 songs and that's it.
Night breeze on the windowsill. I count the stars like faces I can't touch. Morning folds its map across the room. I trace the places where your laughter used to be. Coffee cools beside the photos on the shelf. I wonder which road took the best of you from me. Shadows keep the questions that I can't unlearn. Echoes hold the stories I still hate to earn. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. Letters in the corner smell like distant rain. Names in my pocket are maps I never read. I talk to empty chairs and wait for answers back, wishing on the corners of a life I can't retrieve. If memory's a river, I keep diving in to catch the little truths you left inside my skin. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. Maybe they're under all the quiet that I fear. Maybe they're humming in the songs I still hear. I close my eyes and reach through the distance and the years to hold a piece of all the people I held dear. Softly I call their names into the night, fingers on the map, trying to bring them into light. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. I find it wise to find the time to know and to feel their love and to glow. Night breeze on the windowsill, I leave the light on, hoping somewhere someone feels the same and keeps me on.
Parked my ride outside of Marty's bar and grill. Woke up to a tow truck and a sky gone still. She said her name was over when the jukebox fell, left with a suitcase and a cigarette shell. I lost my car at Marty's, lost my girl and my pride, lost my wallet, lost my phone, nothing left on my side. Lost every game of pool, and my luck ran out like a bell. Lost more than I wanted, but I found Jesus in that Wisconsin jail cell. Tried to catch a memory at the corner of the bar, missed every crooked shot, left my heart on the felt scar. Friends were half smiling, the night fell thin as a thread. Stumbled into trouble with a head full of lead. I lost my car at Marty's, lost my girl and my pride, lost my wallet, lost my phone, nothing left on my side. Lost every game of pool, and my luck rang like a bell. Lost more than I wanted, but I found Jesus in that Wisconsin jail cell. Fluorescent light and a Bible on the sink, cold metal bench held more answers than I think. Prayed with a laugh and a cigarette smell. Redemption came quiet in a county hotel. I lost my car at Marty's, lost my girl and my pride, lost my wallet, lost my phone, nothing left on my side. Lost every game of pool, and my luck tolls like a bell. Wisconsin jail cell. Park my old mistakes by Marty's neon swell. Lost a lot on the way, but I found something to tell. Lost every game of pool, but I found grace where sinners dwell. Lost my way in the cold and found Jesus in that Wisconsin jail cell.
Kept my lipstick on for strangers, counting pieces of another goodbye. I walked through rooms of borrowed promises, smiled through storms that weren't my own. Took my light, called it their favor, left me learning how to fall alone. I built my armor out of maybes, quiet prayers under city lights. Then you came like a steady sunrise, woke the colors I had locked inside. You lift me up like an eagle, wings of gold. You carry me higher. You show me skies I forgot existed. You lift me up like an eagle. Like an eagle. To measure love in footprints, trying to fit where I didn't belong. You said my name without a question, made the broken parts feel strong. No more dodging all the thunders, no more hiding from my truth. Your hands taught me to trust the weather and trust the rhythm of my youth. You lift me up like an eagle, wings of gold. You carry me higher. You show me skies I forgot existed. You lift me up like an eagle. Like an eagle. I was a whisper in a crowd.
Hide homes in the corners where the bright lights don't reach. They smile like fathers, the neighbors on the street. Polished words like honey to drown out your feet. They fold into crowds like a secret that breathes, passing in daylight with pockets of teeth.
A kindness that lingers with a cold in its hold. Echoes of stories that grow darker when told.
Watch the small signs when the velvet voice clears. Look for the shadow that lives near your fears. Silent alarms born from old quiet scars, a skin-deep charm hiding rusted bars. You feel it before you name what you fear, a crooked detail that suddenly sticks clear. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears.
Mark the small truths that the panic nears.
They learn how to kneel and how to bow just right.
Speak like a guardian in the hush of the night.
They glide through families with practiced regret,
Wearing concern like a hand-me-down silhouette.
listen to laughter that trembles and strains. Notice the hush where the warning remains.
Old stories whisper where the new lie steers. Follow the sign where the silence clears.
Little betrayals tucked in a grin. Patterns repeat where the danger begins. A pulse at the throat, a chill in the ears. Truth's baby step closer, dismissing the ears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Hold to the line where the safety
Disappears. We teach the children to name every name,
to trust their skin, to call out the game.
when instinct speaks loud, let the room come alive.
Pull the curtains and let the old lies die. Fingers pointed at the smallest detail. Quiet courage in the face of the tale. One small voice can unravel the gears of the hidden mouth and the lowered ears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Eyes below ears, the devil appears. Gather the light when the night draws near. Keep watch by the threshold
And sharpen your sight,
we name what we fear
and we bring it
to light.
The street still smells like rain and rust. Your jacket on the chair, your name and dust. I trace the hour where the light fell thin, and the man with with empty eyes took the shape of him. My nights fold under the weight of the white. I wake with your breath and the echo of lies. There's a knot in my throat I can't untie. I never learned to let you go. 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 The neighbors say the sirens left too soon. They whisper of a price beneath the cold moon. I keep your pictures in the drawer like sin, folded pages of the love that should have been. Days move around me like a room without doors. Every smile is glass that shatters on the floor. How do I breathe when my heart keeps score? I never learned to let you go. 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 I pray sometimes and my hands feel thin. I ask the sky why evil took him. If mercy is a river, why does it run dry? I stand here asking God if he hears my cry. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I keep your name like a stone in my mouth. I never learned to let you go. 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 Maybe I'll learn to carry you softer with time. Maybe faith will stitch the wound that's mine. Till then I walk with the shadow you left on my soul, praying to God to teach my hands to hold. The empty chair keeps a steady conversation. The clock takes blame into the corners of the room. They set a plate and call your name out, so we fold the laundry in the shape of who you were. There is a photograph that never learns to smile. There is a laugh that breaks and stays inside our mouths. Nights are long and the streets keep swallowing light. We trace the maps of days that you won't come back on. steps used to be. Carry me forward, don't let me fall to memory. Candles match the birthdays that we do without. A funeral song that taught the sun how to be quiet. Evidence of you lives in the ordinary things. A coffee cup, a winter coat, the shadow of your rain. We keep the questions like glass inside our bones. We learn the weight of forever in the slow hours. Carry me forward on the whisper of your name. Carry me forward through the rooms of the rain. Keep the line between breathing and giving breath. Carry me forward, carry me past the edge. We walk through open doors that close like thunder. We carry fingerprints of you on every tender place. Silence is a drumbeat that remembers your thunder. We are the cartographers of absence and grace. In the quiet we collect the pieces you left. In the dark we read the letters of your name. Carry me forward on the hush of your name. Carry me forward when the world calls me change. But the cold and the questions that never leave. Carry me forward, carry me, carry me. We carry the weight like a promise and a scar. We carry you forward wherever we are.
All right, I'm gonna take off. But thanks everybody for being here tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support, etc. We will see you guys tomorrow.